Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome once again to Booking a Better Wrestler. My name is Paul Laporte, and this is the show where we take a wrestler from WWE and see if we can do a better job with them. This week, we are going to be booking the return of another injured wrestler, and that wrestler is Sin Cara. Now, of course, Sin Cara has had some success with the Lucha Dragons, teamed up with Kalisto for some time now. Even back in NXT, they were the NXT Tag Team Champions, and moving to WWE, they have been solid players in the tag team scene there, not holding the belts, but taking part in a few title matches at various times, and making solid names for themselves as contenders. Unfortunately, Sin Cara was injured, suffered a shoulder injury in a match against Big E, and he has been on the shelf since. Now, we don't know exactly when he's going to return, so again, the pay-per-views and the dates are going to be a little loose, but that's not really important for this one. Really, what's important is how we're going to handle him once he returns, and we're going to do it without the Sin Cara gimmick. Now, as many of you may know, the Sin Cara that we have today is not the original Sin Cara who came in. That, of course, was the Mexican wrestler Mystico, who was signed by WWE, and he had, we'll be generous and say, a turbulent career in WWE and was released back in 2013. Ever since then, the part of Sin Cara has been played by undercard wrestler / developmental wrestler Hunico, who had appearances on NXT and some low-level appearances on the main roster as well, but they decided to fit him into that gimmick because he was somebody who could kind of do that style, or was the closest that they had, and they wanted to continue to make money off of the Sin Cara name and sell the mask to kids and do the merchandising. So they stuck Hunico with that gimmick, and then when Kalisto came in, they put them together as a tag team. Well, I think the Sin Cara legacy has run its course, and we're going to go ahead and end that, and this is how, okay? So this is going to take place on a Monday night after a U.S. title defense that Kalisto has against, it doesn't really matter who, anybody, but the important thing is that after the match, Kalisto is attacked in the ring by a man who comes in from the crowd wearing street clothes. He beats down Kalisto and then takes off through the audience. Everybody is left wondering what the hell just happened. The next week, Kalisto again is attacked by the same man, but this time it's in the middle of his match, and it's longer and more brutal. This guy runs Kalisto around the ring, throws him into the post, takes him to the outside, flings him into the barricade, grabs his U.S. title, and lays him out with it. And after he lays him out, he grabs the mic, rolls back into the ring, and says that for 3 years now, he's had to pretend to be something he wasn't. He had to wear that stupid mask because the guy who wore it originally couldn't cut it in WWE, and WWE wanted to keep making money off the merchandise, and he had a family to feed, so he agreed. Then, he agreed to take this new kid who was just signed under his wing and show him the ropes, so he did. Then, as soon as he gets injured, they give the new guy the title shot, and he wants to know where his title shot was all this time, where his reward was for being such a good company man, and he's decided that he is tired of just towing WWE's company line, and he is going to take what he wants from now on, and the first thing he's going to take is that title from Kalisto, and then he leaves. Next week, he's interviewed backstage by Renee Young, who starts off referring to him as Sin Cara, and this immediately angers him. He tells her that his name isn't Sin Cara, his name is Hunico. He never was Sin Cara, he isn't Sin Cara now. Sin Cara was an albatross he had to wear around his neck, and he is finally free of it. And then he goes on to scoff at the idea of the Lucha Dragons and the great luchador that is Kalisto, saying that Kalisto is from Chicago, Illinois, and he's determined to show the world that he was the backbone of the team, that he's the true luchador, and that he is the far better wrestler of the two. Now, as he's talking, he's confronted by Kalisto, and Kalisto, being a babyface, being a good guy, he tells him that he does owe him a lot, and he respects Hunico for what he did for him, but if this is how Hunico wants it to be, then that's fine, and he's going to beat him, whether he's Sin Cara, whether he's Hunico, or whether he's anybody else. The match between the two is booked at the next pay-per-view, and it's for the U.S. title. Now, Hunico, leading up to this, is going to have matches on Raw and SmackDown that are going to build him up and make him look strong. People are obviously familiar with Sin Cara, but they're not familiar with Hunico, and these matches are going to get them familiar with him as a wrestler. His offense is going to be similar to what it was when he was Sin Cara, but it's going to be less focused on high flying and more ground based, although he's still going to throw in flashes of acrobatics every now and then. But for the most part, he's going to be more dirty, more ground based, more hard nosed. Now, the two face off against each other at the pay-per-view, and the story is going to be Hunico keeping Kalisto grounded and knowing the counters to all of his moves. The announcers are going to comment on how much Kalisto's learned from Hunico, and that Hunico knows him better than anybody else does because he was essentially his mentor. The match is going to be very physical. Hunico is really going to bruise up Kalisto and beat him down and just be very, very rough with him. But Kalisto, however, is going to have that big babyface comeback. He's going to fire up, and he's going to get the pinfall victory in a hard-fought match. He is going to retain his U.S. title. And from here, you move Hunico into the lower tier of the singles division, where he can be used to either enhance rising stars or just put on solid matches with existing talent at the beginning of the night. Kalisto officially gets moved away from the Lucha Dragons. He gets separated on his own, and now he has a chance to shine as a singles wrestler. And then on top of all of that, all the seeds are put in place for a long-standing rivalry between the two, and these two could face off a number of times again throughout their career. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Booking a Better Wrestler. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. I know it's just an audio right now, but we actually may be changing that in the future. No guarantees, but we're kicking around different ideas for incorporating video into the channel more. We're also working on new shows, of course. Time Warp, which debuted last Monday. Unfortunately, we had some technical issues. We actually have 3 more episodes of Time Warp recorded, but they're on a laptop, which I cannot get to right now because the charger broke on it. So I'm working on getting a replacement for that, and as soon as I get that, we will put up a new episode of Time Warp. I'm hoping that'll be up by either Thursday or Friday, and then from there forward, we will have that every Monday going from that point on. And then, of course, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have Changing the Questions. Tomorrow's episode is a very long episode, and it is complete and utter anarchy and chaos, which is very entertaining to record, and I hope just as entertaining to listen to. So just to give everybody kind of a sneak preview of that. Again, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get to 50 subscribers as soon as we can. We got to 40 by January. I was looking for 50, but still a lot of good growth for the channel. We really want to get kind of an established community, so we can only do that from people commenting and subscribing to our videos. Also, we want to hear all your feedback. Be sure to send us an email at changingthequestions@gmail.com, or you can check us out on Twitter at changingtheqs, which is at changingtheqs. Also, be sure to look us up on Facebook, where we will be posting things regularly about not only our shows, but other content, other wrestling-based things that we see as we wander around the internet. And that's going to do it. My name is, once again, Paul Laporte. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.